Hello and welcome to the channel. Peter Obi, before the generally acknowledged failed elections in Nigeria, had won almost every online poll leading up to D-Day. While no one from the political elites gave him a chance, talking up structure or lack of it, Obi quietly, together with his obedience, rode on the coattails of change. On by-election count, there was perceived injustice as generally acknowledged by both the international and national communities, which necessitated a second redress in courts. So while Peter Obi may have lost the battle, he may very well win the war. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Peter Obi and a dream deferred. This time last year, no one saw Peter Obi coming. Mentally, Nigerians were preparing for yet another general election in a series dominated since the country's return to democracy in 1999 by the incumbent All Progressives Congress (APC) and its rival People's Democratic Party (PDP). An uninspiring two-horse race seemed all but guaranteed, and voters were more or less set to pull the lever for the lesser of two evils in a long-standing arrangement that had failed to deliver the expected dividends of economic relief and social stability, but that no one seemed to have either the ingenuity or the resources to challenge effectively. All that changed in May 2022 when Peter Obi, the former governor of the southeastern state of Anambra, sensing that a deal had been done that would eventually sideline him in favor of former vice president and perennial PDP candidate Atiku Abubakar, decided to part ways with the PDP. Obi was, contrary to mythology, no maverick outsider. Having been Abubakar's running mate back in an unsuccessful 2019 presidential bid, he could well have stayed within the party and teamed up with him again, but this time, Obi resolved not to play second fiddle to anyone. Indications have since emerged that his defection to the relatively unknown Labour Party was not a last-minute thing, but a move instigated and fully backed by political elders in the Yoruba heartland, desperate to prevent either Abubakar or Bola Tinubu, the political bigwig from the southwest, from becoming president. Obi's initial move may have stemmed from high-stakes political machinations, but nonetheless, neither he nor his backers could have anticipated what came next. In the following months, the odds of Obi becoming Nigeria's next president changed. In a dramatic election season, from totally implausible to not unlikely to very possible, tracking the evolving mood of young people who felt at first that Obi stood no chance against the formidable machine of the old guard before becoming totally convinced that he stood as good a chance as any of disrupting the entrenched two-party system. It was the fervency and energy of these young people, the obedient as they came to be known, that drove Obi's startling ascendancy, raising the hope that their candidate could overcome a series of formidable structural hurdles. The obedient was an assemblage of disaffected urban youths, students, trade union elements, celebrities and entertainers, and the rump of demonstrators who had caught the attention of the world during the #EndSARS protests against law enforcement brutality in the closing months of 2020. They were young, social media savvy, and their energy led to an outpouring of political passion long absent from Nigerian presidential politics. Obi, 61, appealed to them because of his youth relative to the other two major candidates, Abubakar and Tinubu, who are 76 and 70 respectively. His austere exterior and seemingly inexhaustible energy and the resonance of his political messaging, promising to address youth unemployment and corruption, in short, to effect some change in a political system that is widely regarded as stagnant. Ultimately, Obi came up short, coming third behind Abubakar and Tinubu, the president-elect who, in addition to astutely crafting a winning cross-regional coalition, profited from deep division within the PDP. Rejecting the outcome of the presidential election, both Obi and Abubakar have promised to seek legal remedy. This week, Obi made good his promise when he urged the Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja (FCT) to either declare him the president-elect or nullify the entire election and order a fresh one. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Yet, in a fundamental sense, and notwithstanding the outcome of their legal challenge, Peter Obi has already won. In the first place, he has established the viability of a third-party candidacy, something that the sheer entrenchment of the two-party system had made highly unlikely. Second, Obi has effectively ended the political career of 76-year-old Abubakar, a perennial presidential candidate and stalwart of the political process, making him pay a stiff price for initiating the process that led to the fracturing of the opposition PDP. Contrary to the unwritten agreement on power sharing according to which it was the South's turn to produce the president, Abubakar in 2022 blindsided Obi and the rest of the field and secured the nomination for himself. At the moment, curiously, both Abubakar and Obi find themselves in a similar position, but believing themselves cheated out of the presidency. They may well be fighting for the same prize, but it is difficult to believe that they are ultimately engaged in the same struggle. Unlike Abubakar, Obi, 62 in July, still has the rest of his political career ahead of him and a real chance of securing the presidency if, among other things, he is willing to do the work to make the Obedient a truly pan-Nigeria movement. For a candidate who at no time presented himself as an ethnic candidate and in fact exercised utmost caution to avoid being defined as one, Obi's success has invigorated hopes of a successful Igbo run for the presidency, a prize that has continued to elude one leg of Nigeria's famed ethno-political trident since the conclusion of the Nigerian Civil War in 1970. Part of the reason why many Igbos embraced Obi's candidacy and why he enjoyed such vociferous support in the heavily Igbo southeastern region was precisely because the Igbos saw him as an answer to their long-standing yearning to have one of their own in the seat of power. Insofar as the Igbo, perhaps correctly, perceived that exclusion from the presidency was the penalty imposed for the wrong of a failed secessionist attempt, Obi was the long-awaited instrument to end their political exile. The ethnic and to a lesser extent religious Christian element was a constant undercurrent in the Obedient movement, now and again butting against its foundational liberal intent, but at no time close to overwhelming it. How this tension is resolved and which of these dueling tendencies eventually prevails will go a long way in determining the movement's future. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.